Sekarang kami bawakan anda siaran langsung dari Ibu Pejabat ITE dan Kolej Tengah di mana Perdana Menteri Hsien Loong akan menyampaikan ucapan rapat Hari Kebangsaan. Encik Lee akan berucap dalam bahasa Melayu diikuti bahasa Mandarin. Ucapan dalam bahasa Inggeris akan beliau sampaikan pada pukul 8 malam.
ITE தலைமையகம் காலேஜ் சென்ட்ரலிலிருந்து பிரதமர் திரு லீசியன் லூங் ஆற்றும் தேசிய தின கூட்ட உரையின் நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பை இப்போது காணலாம். திரு லீ முதலில் மலாய் மேண்டரின் மொழிகளில் பேசுவார். ஆங்கில உரையை இரவு 8 மணிக்கு தொடங்குவார்.
我们现在带您到公益教育学院总部兼中区学院。今晚，李显龙总理将发表他的国庆群众大会演讲。李总理首先将以马来语和华语发言，他也将在8点整发表英语演讲。
We are now bringing you a live telecast from ITE headquarters and College Central, where the Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, will be delivering his National Day rally speech. Mr. Lee will be speaking in Malay, followed by Mandarin. His English speech will be delivered at 8 p.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister.
Good evening and welcome back to ITE College Central. ITE was such gracious hosts last year that I decided to come again. But also, one of my themes this year is ITE and poly students. Their studies, their work, their careers, their future. So I think this is the right place to make the speech. But let me begin first in Malay as usual. Saudara-saudari sekalian,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Selamat Hari Kebangsaan
Happy National
dan
Day
Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri.
and Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri.
Ramadan lalu, saya dan isteri
During the recent
turun
Ramadan,
padang
my
ke
wife
Geylang Serai
and I
untuk
visited Geylang
merasai
Serai
sendiri
to soak in
suasana
the
perayaan
festive
di
atmosphere
sana.
there.
Tahun ini hiasan lampunya
This year,
sungguh bercahaya
the lights are
dan
prettier
berwarna-warni.
and more colorful, very attractive.
Menarik sekali. Saya gembira melihat pengunjung
I am also
berpusu-pusu
happy to see good
ke
crowds
bazar.
at the bazaar.
Saya juga berpeluang menyertai
I was
majlis
also
iftar
able to join
di
an
Masjid
iftar
Mujahidin
session at
di
Mujahidin
Queenstown.
Mosque in Queenstown.
Masjid ini baru saja dibaik
The mosque
balik.
was recently
Cantik sekali.
upgraded. It was beautifully
Ruang
done.
solatnya lebih besar,
The mosque
ada
now has a
laluan
bigger
bebas
prayer
halangan
space,
untuk golongan
barrier-free
kurang
access
upaya.
to benefit the handicapped,
Bilik darjahnya pula moden.
modern classrooms.
App iPhone pun ada.
It even has an iPhone app.
Masjid ini juga
The mosque
menampung
has
jemaah dari karya
also
Kampung
taken
Holland.
in worshippers from Kampung
Saya
Holland
tahu
Mosque.
jemaah masjid
I know
Kampung
that
Holland agak
worshippers
sedih
of
meninggalkan
Masjid
masjid
Kampung
itu.
Holland were rather sad having to leave the
Tetapi
mosque.
saya gembira
But
kedatangan
I am
mereka
happy
disambut
to see
mesra
them being
oleh
warmly
Masjid
received
Mujahidin.
by Mujahidin Mosque,
Mereka sudah
and
pun
they are
sesuaikan diri
settling
dengan
in
baik
well
di rumah baru
in their
mereka.
new home.
Kerjasama dan pengorbanan
This is
seperti inilah
the spirit of
yang kita
partnership and
inginkan
sacrifice
untuk
that we would
Singapura.
like to foster in Singapore.
Semangat ini ketara dalam
This
diri
spirit is
generasi
exemplified by our
perintis kita. Apabila
pioneers.
kita merdeka dulu, warga perintis
The
Melayu
pioneering Malays
sebenarnya
had a choice to
ada
make
pilihan.
when we achieve
Dan
independence.
Anda telah memilih
They
untuk jatuh
pledge
bangun
their future
bersama
with
Singapura.
Singapore.
Pilihan Anda ini telah membantu
Your choice has
Singapura
enabled
mekar
Singapore to grow
menjadi sebuah
into a
masyarakat
unique,
berbilang kaum
multiracial
dan agama yang
and
unik,
multi-religious
yang
society
bersatu padu
that is both
harmoni.
united and
Terima
harmonious.
kasih kerana yakin dengan masa
Thank you for
depan
having
Singapura
faith in the
dan
future of
bersungguh
Singapore
dengan kaum
and
lain
working hard
untuk
with other
bangunkan
communities
Singapura.
to set Singapore on a path of development. The Pioneer Generation Package is an expression of our gratitude to our pioneers. For the Malay community, Muiz and Mendaki have set up a Pioneer Generation Joint Committee chaired by our Speaker of Parliament, Madam Halimah Yaakob, and supported by the various Malay Muslim organizations. It is doing good work by setting up a listening point corner at Juchat Complex to reach out to pioneers and their family members. One outstanding Malay pioneer was Mr. Yusuf Ishak, our first president. I am very happy that Madam Nur Aisha is here with us tonight. Welcome, Madam Nur Aisha. Mr. Yusuf was born in Perak but grew up in Singapore. He excelled in school and was an avid sportsman. He also started the first Malay newspaper owned by Malays, which was written in Jawi. In 1959, when Singapore gained self-government, he became the head of state. Eventually, after independence, Mr. Yusuf Ishak became our first president. I knew Mr. Yusuf since I was a young boy. He was warm and friendly to me and my siblings. I remembered he enjoyed shooting with the film camera. When he and Madam Nur Aisha went on Hajj, he captured the journey on film. In those days, it was very rare to see recorded footages of Mecca and the Kaaba. On his return, he showed the film to us while recounting his experiences at the Holy Land. Mr. Yusuf was a deeply religious man, and at the same time, he was close and friendly with non-Muslims. He strongly supported our multiracial policies. Mr. Yusuf believed in meritocracy, where everyone should have an equal opportunities to advance themselves through their own effort. He advocated policies to modernize our society and to enable the Malay Muslim community to make progress together with the other communities. As President, Mr. Yusuf represented Singapore with dignity and distinction. For his contributions to Singapore, we will honor Mr. Yusuf in 3 ways. Firstly, we will be naming a new mosque after him. We have consulted the Mufti on this issue. As some of you might know, we are building a new mosque in Woodlands. We have also consulted with the new mosque committee and also with Mr. Yusuf's family. Thank you, Mufti, for giving me the honor of announcing the mosque's name tonight, which will be called Yusuf Ishak Mosque. Secondly, Mr. Yusuf was committed to progress through education. He also helped strengthen our ties with our neighboring countries. Hence, we will name the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies, or ISIS, after him. It will now be known as ISIS, the Yusuf Ishak Institute. Thirdly, we will also start a Yusuf Ishak Professorship in Social Sciences at the National University of Singapore. Fundraising is underway. It's being led by a committee appointed by Minister Dr. Yaakob Ibrahim. These are ways which we ensure our future generations of Singapore will hold dear the memory, ideals and values of Mr. Yusuf Ishak. Madam Noor Aisha, we are grateful for all the contributions and sacrifices made by your late husband to the nation. Thank you. The Malay Muslim community has progressed dramatically in the half-century since Mr. Yusof was president. Year after year, household incomes have increased steadily. There are many more students making it to post-secondary education, and there are many more Malay Muslim PMETs. When I look for examples of Malay Muslims who have excelled in different fields each year, I realize a noticeable trend. I find more and more proud examples year by year. This year, we have at least 35 Malay Muslim first-class honours graduates from local universities. Two caught my eye. One of them is Afzal Ali. He graduated with first-class honours from NUS Law School with concurrent Masters of Law from New York University. Afzal is now a pupil at Allen and Gledhill Law Firm. The second is Fauzia Ali. He graduated from Singapore Polytechnic with diploma in biomedical science. She graduated from NTU and now is a research officer at the Institute of Molecular and Cell Biology, which is IMCB. Truly outstanding achievements. Congratulations. While the Malay community have achieved significant progress, there are still challenges, such as health issues. Too many in the community have hypertension, diabetes and obesity, partly because of the food like nasi lemak, biryani and Malay cakes, which are all so sweet and delicious. Usually during Ramadan, most would lose weight. But I know some gain weight, a little bit. Maybe due to the irresistible iftar spread. I would like to encourage the Malay community to do more exercises. Women have their kebaya aerobics group. But for the men, what should they do? However, there is a certainly greater awareness now. At the iftar session at Mujahideen Mosque, I noticed those around me watching carefully what they ate. The rest I don't know. Those near me look after their diet. The nasi buhari that was served looked delicious, but they did not savor it at once. They choose to eat more dates and fruits instead. So I too had to restrain myself. Despite the challenges, overall the community has done well. We must ensure Singaporeans can progress together where everyone can realize your potential regardless of family background as long as you work hard and put in effort. Education and training are a big part of the solution. Now, more and more Malays are making it to universities. I know more polytechnic students want to go to university and more ITE students want to go on to polytechnic. That is why we are helping more of them to do so, like Fauzia Ali. But the academic route may not be suitable for everyone. Many have chosen the working route, and one of them is Iswandi Wanhar. He joined ST Aerospace under NITEC apprenticeship scheme in the year 2000. He completed NTC2 in aircraft maintenance, and he also took his diploma while working. He was promoted several times and most recently to technical training instructor. We want more success stories like Iswandi Wanhar. That is why I set up the Aspire Committee, chaired by Ms. Indrani Raja. It is focused on creating more opportunities for Singaporeans to progress, especially ITE and polytechnic students. With the latest initiative, I am confident that more Singaporeans can achieve better success in their lives. By working together, I'm confident we can continue to progress. This is how the community has thrived over the past 50 years. As we prepare for our 50th birthday next year, let us uphold the spirit of our pioneers and strengthen our multiracial community. Let's give every Singaporean the opportunity to achieve their potential. Let us reaffirm our commitment to make Singapore even better for ourselves and our children. Thank you.
My fellow citizens, good evening, everyone. It has been nearly half a century since Singapore's independence. 49 years ago, our little island separated from Malaysia. Overnight, our future became uncertain. We need to seek a survival in a small space. We developed our economy and industrialized. In the early years of independence, there was nearly nothing in the government's budget. We did not have social welfare or support packages. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew told us then that we should be self-reliant and be rugged. Fortunately, Singapore's pioneer generation was indeed rugged and endured great hardship. They saw the big picture and make personal sacrifices. They worked day and night, not knowing what was work-life balance. Often, they had to raise large families on meager salaries. They suffered a lot for the sake of the next generation. In February this year, we organized a Pioneer Generation tribute party. I met many pioneers at the party. Each had moving and impressive life stories. Among them was 87-year-old Madam Wong. Madam Wong, in 1948, came to Singapore from Guangdong. She was then only 21. She was illiterate and could only speak Cantonese. To earn a living, she found work at the construction site and started a 44-year career as a samsui woman. She did bed-breaking work all day long, throughout the year. She carried pails of cement and sand. There were no lifts, and she had to bend her back and carry the materials up the building. Madam Wong and her generation built up Singapore, tile by tile and brick by brick. Thank you, Madam Wong. Without a hard-working pioneer generation, there would not be Singapore of today. Last year, at the National Day rally, I said we should think of the source when we drink and express our appreciation for the pioneer generation. After a year's planning, we've launched a special package which we hope will be useful for the pioneer generation. I have here a pioneer generation package which has been sent out. I think many of our seniors have received it. If you have not to worry. It is on its way. The contents of this package contain the details, the most important of which is this Pioneer Generation card. This white base, a red card, some papers call it the red card. But it is not the same as the red card in the World Cup. But it's just as powerful. With this card, you will enjoy more subsidies. For example, when you go to Charles clinics, you will have to pay $10 less than the blue card holders. If you go to polyclinics, dental clinics, and specialist outpatient clinics, you will receive subsidies. The card has no expiry date, and you can use it for life. So it is the king of cards. Still, we hope you don't have to use it often. Better to keep healthy and be an active senior citizen. Please keep it carefully. Keep it together with the IC and don't lose it, because it's a token of appreciation from the country. We should build on our forefathers' foundation and do better. We should never be complacent and stop moving forward. Whatever the generation, we have a common dream to build better lives for our next generation. We are in a completely new environment, and it is changing rapidly. Government will help people to cope with the changes, especially our elderly and the vulnerable. So last year, I announced 2 new packages, Pioneer Generation Package and MediShield Life. These measures will help our people, especially the elderly, with their medical bills. This is what we can do in the most practical manner. We will lighten the children's burden. Government's the other goal is to ensure that everyone has sufficient retirement savings. We can do it in 2 ways. One, the CPF system. Second, home ownership. Everyone knows that CPF has brought many benefits. It allows us to save as we work. But few may not be so familiar with how CPF works. So later on in my English speech, I will explain further. Let me touch on a few key points here. CPF will help us deal with our retirement and needs, housing, healthcare, and the cost of higher education for our children. Some feel that at 55, they should have the right to use the CPF funds. After working half their life, it's time to enjoy the fruits. They should have the freedom to do what they want to do. This kind of thinking is understandable. But I worry that if they spend all the savings in the next 20 to 30 years, what would they do? At my Meet the People session, I frequently meet seniors who are in trouble. They have already used up most of the savings and can't make ends meet. They are desperate and go to see the MPs. Of course, the MPs would do their best to help, especially the poor. But MPs cannot do everything and sometimes may not be able to help. Besides those who have spent the savings, MPs have come across residents who ask for greater flexibility in how they use their CPF. They would like us to help them to carry on. Teo Salak met such a resident, a woman in her 60s. I'm now in my 60s, so I call her 60 elder sister. So elder sister told Salak, nowadays prices are going up, there's not enough money. Why is the government holding back my CPF? I'm already old. I don't know how much longer I'm going to live. Maybe tomorrow I pass away, and then what will happen? Salak says, elder sister, you look very well and you're sure to live for a long time. And government is concerned for everyone so that in old age they don't have to worry about money and pay the bills. The lady says, thank you, but please let me take my CPF. You don't have to worry about me. Salak asked, are you planning to withdraw yours as well as your husband's CPF? After you finish spending this money, what will happen? The lady said, give me my CPF. My husband's, don't give it to him. He will spend it recklessly. So I have to defend the men here. I don't think all men will spend the CPF recklessly. And it is not just a question of management of finance. Even those who can manage the finance may run into difficulty. So the intention of the government is to ensure that there's basic protection for citizens in their old age. In adjusting the CPF to make it better, more flexible, and be able to help people better. So we have to strike a balance between two objectives. On the one hand, to allow people to use CPF more flexibly. On the other, we have to ensure that there are sufficient savings for people to be able to withdraw a fixed amount regularly and not be penniless. Another way to protect our citizens is home ownership. To Singaporeans in general, the flat is a considerable asset. If you have a 3-room flat, it is equivalent to having $300,000 of savings. 4-room flat, $400,000 savings. Some even higher. The house owner can use his flat in exchange for retirement savings. For example, they can rent out a room or even rent out the whole flat and stay with their children. Senior citizens can downgrade and get a smaller flat and enjoy the silver bonus, silver housing bonus. So this is a way to unlock value and receive monthly a fixed sum for the rest of their lives. We'll continue to adjust the policies to help Singaporeans use the flats for retirement. So on the whole, as long as you have CPF and a flat, in your old age, you should be able to cope with the basic expenses. Government not only look after the seniors and the vulnerable, they have not overlooked the other Singaporeans' interests. In each year's budget, there are measures to help the sandwich class who have to look after aged parents and children. These include GST vouchers, seniors bonus, YouSave, SNCC discounts, and education subsidies. There are numerous such schemes. Some of these go into your account directly. So please pay attention. Otherwise, you may not even know the money has gone into your account. You may even have spent it without knowing it. Middle-aged are concerned not only with the health of the parents, but also the education and future of their children. So besides helping the senior citizens, we want to create an environment with opportunities everywhere, where young people can pursue their dreams and develop their potential. We want our people to be confident and hopeful of the future. that wherever you are, you have chances to upgrade yourselves. The government has attached great importance to education and has created many opportunities for the young to upgrade themselves. After many years, our universities, polytechnics, and ITEs are recognized internationally as institutions of excellence. They are well-trained, highly skilled, and employable. Our society attaches importance to education too. Many parents want their children to go to university. Poly and IT graduates also would like to further the studies. Government will help more students to realize the dreams. But we must recognize the circumstances in many countries, in other countries, where there are many graduates and there are more people than jobs. And graduates, in looking for the jobs, they have not the chance to use the skills. So on this issue, I would like to speak frankly and share with you my views. I hope you'll consider them. We have to recognize a fact that everyone's interests and aptitude are different. Not everyone is suited for university studies. And not every university degree is the same. And even if you have a university degree, you may not be able to have a smooth career. Fortunately, not every good job requires a university degree. So, if your children need not go to university before they have a bright future, I discussed with a few SME bosses on the question of how to upgrade their employees. They told me that some knowledge on the job can only be learned on the job and cannot be learned in the classroom. So I told them, in politics, it's the same. You can study political science, but unless you participate in politics and serve the people, you are not able to experience what is it all about. So these employers have also expressed that when they upgrade their employees, they pay attention to practical work and experience. Whether they have a university degree is secondary. One of the employers is a Makino Asia boss, Dr. Mok Chong Tao. He shared with me one of his employees, Mr. Ang Kian Hua. Ang Kian Hua is 31 years old and studied at N levels, secondary, and completed NITEC course at ITE. After graduating from ITE, he found a job, his first job, as a technician at Makino Asia. Over the years, he took courses while working. In April this year, he completed the course and is equivalent to promoted to be a craftsman. So I hope he will continue to learn more skills and upgrade himself. The future is bright. In employment, you study and work at the same time, you can achieve greatly. It's like the old days. The martial arts started with the horse stance. After many years of training, becoming a master in martial arts. In practical life, many first-rate chefs, hairstylists, performance artists, and businessmen, they do not have university degrees, but accomplishments are no less than the graduates. The objective of education is to allow students to pursue their interests and aptitude and to look for a learning pathway which is suitable for them and they can develop their talent to the fullest. I believe every sector you can have a top achiever. But the most important thing is you must have a respect for your job and learning. I know they will pay attention to the contributions, their character, and the skills. We should not measure a person's worth, social standing, and achievement merely by his qualifications. we want to create more diverse opportunities for learning for Singaporeans. So I've appointed Senior Minister of State Indrani Raja to fill an Aspire committee to review the applied learning of polytechnic and IT education and to open up more pathways of development for them so that they can earn good income and pursue good careers. We hope the employers will play their part and create systematic training opportunities and career development paths so that they will reach a high point in their career. To have a good life, we must have a prosperous economy. Only when we have a prosperous economy can we create opportunities for Singaporeans. Even after Singaporeans have been educated, if they are not employed, they cannot make use of their talents. So we have to develop domestically as well as internationally, including the emerging economies in Asia, including the very important economy in China. In 2007, we established a new platform, Business China, to help Singapore businessmen to get business opportunities in China. Recently, they conducted the 5th Global Future China Global Forum. This is done to help Singaporean businessmen understand the business opportunities in China. I participated in the forum. Somebody asked me, an entrepreneur from China, how does the Singapore government plan to facilitate the partnership between entrepreneurs from the two countries? I told him, the government is only a matchmaker. Through forums such as this global forum, we create opportunities for them to know one another, hope that they can develop together, get along together, and form a happy partnership. And we'll be happy with this development. So those who want to develop in China, why not enroll in next year's Global Forum? I am a patron of Business China, so I am the duty to advertise for them. Actually, many Singaporean companies have done well in China. Government support is a favorable factor, but another reason is that Singaporean Chinese have a similar cultural background, they are bilingual, and can integrate into Chinese society more quickly. To make use of this, we want the younger generation to understand their own culture, help them to connect internationally, but remain rooted in Singapore and anchored to our culture. All along, governments has always supported community groups to promote culture and mother tongue education. Our clan association has done a great deal, actively promoting culture and education. 2 years ago, the Singapore Federation of Chinese Clan Association wanted to set up a Singapore Chinese Culture Center. I immediately gave it my support. So this has made good progress since then. This modern building is only a conceptual plan. It's the new Singapore Chinese Culture Center. It will be located behind the Singapore Conference Hall. Next month, we have picked an auspicious occasion to do the groundbreaking ceremony. I'd like to thank President Chua Tempo for his leadership. I'd like to thank my old classmate, Mr. Chu Tiam Siu, because he has agreed to become the CEO of SCCC. Thank you both. Tiam Siu is a leading light of the arts and cultural community and headed the National Arts Council and the Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts. With his rich experience, I'm confident he'll do well. I hope the pressure will not be too great. This is a significant project for the Chinese community. Government will give its full support, and I hope all Singaporeans who support Chinese culture to join in and complete this project. The culture that SCCC will promote besides the traditional and modern Chinese culture, will also include the unique Singapore Chinese culture. After several years of preparation, the Chinese culture in Singapore has developed a Nanyang style. For example, our senior dance teacher, Yan Chonglian, Madam Yan, she has injected multicultural elements in this Chinese dance. So these performances have been very well received internationally. In Xing Yao's development, the Chinese orchestra has also developed similarly. Although they use traditional Chinese instruments, but they have displayed a uniquely Nanyang style. At the end of June, the Singapore Chinese Orchestra, together with other Chinese orchestras in Singapore, organized a concert at the Sports Hub. This was a photo from the evening. From here, you can see that there was a packed audience and performance. The tickets were sold out. The concert established a record of a concert with the highest number of performers for Chinese orchestra. Xing Yao is another part of Chinese culture in Singapore. In the 80s, the Xing Yao were very popular. Many young people have a fond collective memory. I remember in 1987, I took part in a Mountbatten concert in 1987. Why do I remember that? Because that was after my second child was born. So I was rather busy, but I still attended the concert. It was drizzling, and we enjoyed the concert under umbrellas. We listened to the beautiful melodies and the performance of many young people with passion. I took a photograph with these big-headed performers. Now my hair is white. I'm happy to note that the Xing Yao is becoming more popular. In the Bras Basah complex, there was a performance. Then it was a full house. Although it rained heavily, but many fans' enthusiasm was not affected. There were some older ones as well as some younger Singaporeans. The melodies are touching and the lyrics are very pleasant and reflecting the way of life in Singapore, warming the hearts of many. I like the song Voices from the Heart, and this was sung in the National Day Parade, and I had a chance to sing with everybody because it is very significant. The ordinary people also have their contributions. Some people tell me that they also like Liang Wenfu's small stream that flows forever. I listen to it, it's very significant. The beginning goes like this. Who does not have dreams when we are young? You share your dreams unintentionally with me. When I heard the song, I thought, yes. When young, who didn't have dreams? In Singapore, not only the young or the old, everyone has a chance to dream and had many opportunities to realize your dreams, even if you're not a very big shot. In the last half-century, our small stream has flowed continuously. Each of us has done our ordinary bit, but we have achieved something extraordinary together. Every member of the pioneer generation worked hard and created the prosperous Singapore of today, a country that we can be proud of, that we treasure. It is time for us to create a better home, a brighter future for our next generation. When we became independent, it was difficult for us to dream, and we dare not dream that this little island can achieve so much. Today, we have come a long way from third world to first, but we have not reached our limits. Our opportunities are limitless. What we need is the courage of our pioneers, the can-do spirit, so that we can scale new peaks. So let us work towards this direction and work together. Thank you.
The Prime Minister, Mr. Hsien Loong, has delivered his Malay and Mandarin speech. He will deliver his English speech at 8 p.m. Stay tuned.